Hey guys, welcome back to Judo Highlights. So we'll go through all the top Ippons for the Kazakhstan Grand Slam. I thought it was a good one. Day 2, bit disappointing, although this amazing also Bugatti came out of day 2. But day 3, the big guys, they really pulled it out of the hat. Some great Ippons. This one here, throwing the guy on your own head, giving yourself a bleeding nose. You can see the blood starting to rush out. This is speaking from experience because I have a massive nose. But turning your head sideways when you do an uranage might stop the bleeding nose, but you're probably going to get a concussion anyway. Especially doing this, throwing someone directly on your head, it's got to hurt. At least you got the score. And just quickly guys, thumbs up on the video. If you're new, consider subscribing, and if you've been here a while, consider becoming a channel member. It's as cheap as I could make it, and you guys can help me decide what kind of videos I make. Also, I'm going to start selling Qazaqstan judo gis soon. And I think for the channel members, I'll give you guys a discount. Right, this one here, actually one of my favorites. And it's not because of the Ippon, people stealing that Georgian Orsothogari, but it's just a setup. Look at that kochi, really got him moving. A couple of flicks of the gi, and then a kosot on the outside, gets him moving again. Sode attempt here, breaking balance. He just had his opponent moving all over the place. Really nice kozushi. This one, a great counter. And up until recently, I hadn't seen this kind of skashi done by anyone who wasn't a Japanese judoka. But now Bashaev, look at that. Perfectly executed, great Uchimata skashi. This one here, this is textbook Kosotogake. Pay attention to the grip break, and then using your belly, or kind of your chest, to put a lot of pressure on the inside of that arm. Frees up the grip on the outside and makes that underhook a lot easier to grab as well. That was executed so well. This one here didn't look like he was going to go over, but just got him at the end. Really tight grips, really close together, using that elbow on the inside. I think for Tayatoshi, there's definitely two variations. Some people like elbow high, some people like elbow in close. You just got to pick which works for you. This guy here, Beryashvili from Georgia, in the blue. He's featured a couple of times in this video. Someone new who I haven't seen for Georgia. Here he is again. He's got interesting judo. A lot of makikomi, two attacks there with makikomi. But look at the setup. Using the kosoto, ashiwaza on the outside. Just really good movement, figuring out where his opponent's balance is broken. Another Georgian here. And Tushishvili, he needs no introduction. Watch the work he does on the inside with his legs before going on the outside. So his opponent, he was definitely thinking inside Uchimata, and then, he just got deceived with the beautiful Tanya Toshi. Chu from China now, big Ippon, against her fellow teammate, so the Chinese definitely making waves in the women's judo. This one, I really like this. We're all thinking Uchimata right now at this point. But he just split that hip, threw it in there, and you'll see that grip on the belt, turns it into a surigoshi. Just pretty textbook, to be honest. Here's probably one of the craziest Ippons of the tournament, from Torne, from Spain. And some people were saying in the comments that it's a skuinage. Actually, I think it was just one person. But I gotta go with kataguruma. A lot of people do this exact same grips, but they do it low to the ground, rolling over their knees. And we would call that a reverse kataguruma, so I'm not too sure why the standing version of it. This is it here, the rolling version, also from Torne. So if we're going to call that a kataguruma, why would the standing version have a different name? Also guys, a bit of a development to the judo gis in judo. Back in the day, sponsorships just weren't a thing. You see jiu-jitsu people, they have sponsorships all over their gis, and in judo it was kind of frowned upon a little bit. A lot of people didn't like it, and so it's been kind of restrictive up until recent years. We've seen a few different things kind of on the shoulder, etc. But I just heard recently that now the right side of the gi, the right side kind of opposite the flag, you can now have a sponsorship there. I was paying attention when I was making this video, just getting all the Ippons together, but I did see a few people who already have sponsorships on their gis. If you look closely enough, you'll see it. I'll try and point one out the next time I see it. But Takuto on Twitter, he pointed this out, and he said he was looking for a sponsor, so it'll be interesting to see how much money these guys make, and also what kind of sponsorships end up going on people's gis. This one here from Gobier, I had to check, but this is, technically it's not newaza because one arm was up in the air, but it's kind of a special rule in judo where if you're in that exact situation, you are allowed to attack submissions, which is good. I like it. I think it's good for the transitions from tachiwaza into newaza, and if people leave their arms open like that, it's just good to go for. Nice seoi otoshi here, nice upper body control. This one, I liked what Blue was doing here with the grips, but then I saw White's back patch, and he's from Georgia. These close range battles, I mean, this is their wheelhouse. I saw recently Grigolashvili, he's doing some sort of camp, and there were some clips of him teaching some techniques, specifically uranage. And I mean, the Georgians, they love that grip kind of up under the armpit, going all the way to the back around the shoulder. And I tried it the other day and I got demolished. I'll put a clip at the end of this video, you guys can check it out. But the moral of the story here is to stick to what you know. Sometimes you see things online, you're like, man, that's a secret, I'm gonna do that. And then you try it and it's just different. These guys have experience doing these sorts of things for many, many years. They know what it feels like, they know what the counters are, and they know how to defend against them. This next one, a low driving uchigari. I've always wanted to be able to do this, never quite been able to pull it off. My uchigari, much more kind of like nagase, kind of a mix between uchimata and uchigari, but these low driving ones, especially the ones the Italians do, really nice stuff. Big surigoshi now. And I don't know, is it just me personally, or should they just get rid of the surigoshi technique and just call it koshiguruma? I mean, the only real difference is whether your hand is on the belt or not. Also, another technique name I think they should get rid of, hanegoshi. I think 99.9% of the time people are trying to do an uchimata, and it just happens to end up looking like a hanegoshi. But uchi, meaning between, and even when you do a hanegoshi, your leg is between your opponent's legs, so it's not incorrect to say uchimata. I don't know. Who made these techniques? What were they thinking when they did it? Nice uchigari here. Good way to counter the uranage. And this here, I mean, I think this is the third ippon in this video of this reverse kataguruma. A lot of people are doing it these days, combining it with the legs, doing all sorts of different variations. It's great to see. I like this little switch step here. Faking left, faking right, and you can see those grips. Those grips are trademark of this kataguruma. Now this one here, just a really good transition into the newaza. Put a lot of pressure with that tomoe nage, forced him to come down into the newaza, and that juji was right there. This one big now. And makikomi here. So I guess you gotta call it a koshiguruma, but makikomi, right? And this tomoe nage, I really like this one. I guess it's a sumigaeshi, sorry. But look at the forward pressure, and then takes him in the other direction. The grips, I mean the grips weren't the best, but he made it work. Didn't have a sleeve, still managed to secure the ippon. Bashayev. Gotta love Bashayev's judo. Seoi here, this time double sleeves. And I think he's got another ippon later on. It's kind of funny. I think it's coming up soon. Good uchimata counter here. So White, I mean, hand around the belt, tries to go on the outside, looking for a kosoto or something, but I mean, just got picked up with the leg. Good timing. Another seoi nage here from one of the Qazaqstan judoka. They were having a really good tournament. Some medals, of course, but more importantly, at least for me, just some really nice judo. I think this video started off with a nice osotogari. One of the best techniques of the tournament, I thought, from one of the Kazakh judo players. This one here, watch the transition. Sneaky little roll over there into the osaikomi. Had a wazari against his name, but managed to roll it over perfectly into the osaikomi. And just 2 more Ippons to go, guys. If you're here late in this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, come on, what are you doing? Subscribe already, helps me out. I'm trying to get to 10k, sorry, 100k, that sounds crazy to say. 100k before the end of the year. Only got another 10k to go. It's gonna be good. It's a milestone I've definitely set for myself, and I'm excited to reach it. Here's that crazy Ippon from Bashaev, just rolling over like a bear. And just lastly, guys, sorry I forgot to record this on a good microphone, but me getting thrown, make a mistake. I tried that Georgian grip under the armpit and I pay for it with a nice kataguruma. This kid, he's really good. Second in all soccer, I think. Really good, going to Tendi. Competes at under 60, but he's not even 60 kgs. Anyway guys, see you later.